So in this section, I'm going to talk about following your conscience. The rule for following your conscience is that we must always follow it. However, we must also always strive to have a correctly informed conscience. And what that means is our conscience is not necessarily right, even though we must always follow it. Um, First of all, let's define what a conscience is. I'm going to read two paragraphs from the Catechism. The first one goes, "Moral conscience, present at the heart of the person, enjoins him at the appropriate moment to do good and to avoid evil. When he listens to his conscience, the prudent man can hear God speaking." And then the next one says, "Conscience is a judgment of reason whereby the human person recognizes the moral quality of a concrete act." Okay, so notice here, the conscience is a judgment of reason, but it is also in the human heart, placed there by God. The conscience, however, can be wrong, and it can be wrong due to sin and due to an error in our ability to reason. And for this reason, we are obligated to always continuously try to seek out what is right to do, to try to properly inform our conscience. We have a right to follow our conscience, and we may not force others to act against their conscience. So one of the things relating to conscience is this question of ignorance, and you know we may think we are doing the right thing, but it may actually be wrong. But we should still follow our conscience. But there's a little side note here, is that a person also can will to be ignorant, and in that case, if you're ignorant because you will to be ignorant, then you're guilty of sin. When you do something that you think is right but actually wrong, because you willed to be ignorant about it, you didn't seek out to understand and know what is true. There's also something called invincible ignorance. If somebody tries to understand but is, just doesn't, the circumstances just prevent a person from truly knowing the correct right thing to do, then they're not guilty of the sin, even though the act itself may be actually wrong. Another thing that relates to conscience is how passions can affect it. We know that our passions can affect our ability to reason. They can color our judgment of things. So if our passions come before our will, then our passions can diminish our freedom. But there's also a way that passions can actually increase our freedom. And before I get into that, the important point we need to know about our passions is that they are not completely out of our control. We have the ability to form our own passions, and so we must form our passions to align with our will. And in that case, even when our passions come before our will, they give us greater freedom to do what we will to do. So only if our passions go against our will does it diminish our freedom, but if our passions are in line with our will, they increase our freedom by giving our actions more motivation. And so we form our passions, and it gives us greater freedom when we form them to our will. And when we do this, this is called virtue, when we form our passions to do what is good. And it's called vice when we form our passions to do what is bad. All right, so with that in mind, that's what I had to say about the rules of following our conscience. So that sums up my series for the rules of morality. May God bless you.